Welcome in to DC On Screen, a podcast about the DC Universe properties being brought to film and television. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this is my sometimes wacky, sometimes lackadaisical co-host, Jason.
Hello.
You know, some might say you're wackadaisical.
It sounds like a masturbatory affliction.
I like it. Wackadaisical.
Wackadaisical. Sounds like what happens between ages 14 and 15 to every average male.
Oh, so this is a big episode, man.
It turned out to be kind of snowballed, especially late in the week, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of news. There's a ton of news.
Oh yeah.
But this is our 30th episode.
Oh wait, there are numbers. We do have a number.
Yeah.
Oh good.
We stopped putting numbers on the episode titles probably 3 or 4 weeks in, maybe 5 weeks in.
It's probably more laziness.
I've kept
than
track.
Else, but
oh no, it was for SEO purposes, man.
Gotcha. Of course.
It was very
getting the word
calculated
out.
On my part.
Getting the word.
Yeah,
out.
It was very calculated on my part. But
we're at 30.
I've kept track.
Do I need to buy you something? Do I need to buy you a present or something for 30? Or?
I don't think so. I think we'll wait till episode 50 or 100 before we start worrying about gifts.
Gotcha.
But I did earlier in
even
the week.
Even then, it's just going to be an action figure.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Right. I'm going to get you a copy of the...
figure's always welcome.
Actually, no, for 30, I'm going to buy you a copy of the Fantastic Four film that just came out. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. How about you not buy that, and I will call that my gift.
Oh, good. We're clean then. And you can get that for me.
Right.
Maybe you can help me erase the memories of having watched that.
Right. So, yeah, I actually crunched the numbers earlier in the week. Mm-hmm. We have done this podcast, there's 1,522 minutes of us talking about DC.
And that's just the stuff that gets recorded throughout the week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just the stuff that gets recorded. That's just over 25 hours of DC on screen.
I am the saddest and proudest I think I've ever been of us.
Right?
That's impressively insane. And
yeah,
if anyone thinks that we're not well-rounded, that doesn't include the amount of time that we talked, personally about Marvel, about Doctor Who.
Right.
There's plenty of stuff to geek out about in the world. Hell, what is it? We record these things on Saturday around 1 o'clock. I believe now they're getting into the last act of a Doctor Who episode. Mm-hmm. So, what up, Greenwich Meantime? Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and that is going to be happening very soon. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the new Doctor Who. And you might think that's not DC related, but I've got some news for you. That's about to change. Jason, how would it sound to you if I were to tell you that you were going to be able to see Batman team up with Doctor Who?
I see it all the time. It's just, dreams.
No, this isn't a dream, sir.
Oh, don't tell me. I can't handle that much excitement. I can't handle
that much
excitement.
Constant listeners to the show will remember that Jason has constantly cursed out the powers that be for making him his future self spend what was it, $600-700 for an Xbox One?
Of course.
For the Arkham Knight game?
Of course. It just money I don't have at the moment.
Well, get ready for Lego Dimensions, sir.
Holy shit. They're going to pull a TARDIS into the Lego stuff, aren't they?
On the planet Vorton, in the center of the Lego multiverse, the evil Lord Vortek, voiced by Gary Oldman, seeks the foundational elements the planet is built on, which have the power to control the multiverse. To do this, he opens vortices in many different worlds, recruiting local villains to aid in his search for the elements and damaging the boundaries between worlds, causing them to merge and characters to be displaced. When Robin, Frodo, and Metalbeard are each pulled...
Okay. Knee-jerk reaction to hearing the words Robin, Frodo. Sorry.
Yeah. Are each pulled into their vortices. Batman, Gandalf, and Wildstyle all jump in after them. The three get pulled into the same vortex and appear on Vorton, deciding to ally with one another and travel the multiverse to find their missing friends and stop Vortex's plan from succeeding. This game is going to have characters in worlds from 14 different franchises. That's just starting out. They are releasing a starter pack. It includes DC Comics, Lord of the Rings, the Lego Movie, The Wizard of Oz, The Simpsons, Lego Ninjago, Doctor Who, Back to the Future, Portal 2, Ghostbusters, Midway Arcade, Scooby-Doo, Lego Chima, and Jurassic World. More franchises are being planned and will be added post-launch.
Why do you need more? And
why do you need more?
Portal 2 snuck in there somehow? Damn.
Yeah, man. Like, it's coming. It's going to be
I'm actually
available.
As excited about that as anything else of all things.
Yeah. Is actually going to be available September 27th for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Nintendo Wii U. You can go ahead and pre-order the starter pack. Now, here's the exciting part.
It gets better?
Yes.
God.
The voice cast, man.
All right, give me a quick rundown.
Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd are coming back to do Doc Brown and Marty.
God. Oh, man.
Chris Pratt is voicing 2 characters. One of them being his character from Jurassic World.
Be, yeah. And then while he's there, why not let him be funny somewhere else?
Yeah. Elizabeth Banks is coming back to voice her character from the Lego Movie. Alison Brie is coming back to voice her character from the Lego Movie. Charlie Day is also coming back.
This is amazing. Okay. On behalf of everyone who owns an Xbox 360 and can't afford to get the Xbox One yet, thank you, people who work on Lego, for giving me one more piece of mileage out of this damn machine.
Here's some more, man.
Ugh.
Troy Baker.
Of course. You can't make a game and not have Troy Baker in there somewhere.
Right. Joel McHale.
Really?
Tara Strong.
You know, at some point they're just going to include Community in this universe, right?
You're just
going to be able to. You're going to be able to go to a library and pick up Jeff. You know,
Jason.
Oh
man.
That
Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman.
Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman.
And Michelle Gomez.
Oh my god.
As well as the previous 12 doctors, including the War Doctor. They're all going to be used. They're going to be using archived audio. Yes, they're using archived audio from all the previous doctors. Like, if you die as the Doctor, you regenerate into a different Doctor.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And yes, he is teamed up with Batman.
Of course he is. Oh my god.
In the trailer, they have a scene from Ghostbusters 2. The scene where they're in the sewer and they see like the train light coming.
Of course.
And they do the close up of Winston like freaking out.
Of course.
And then it just winds up being like a railroad cart with Batman on it holding a light.
Right.
And Batman goes, I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Oh, of course he does.
This is our dream game.
This is our childhood all in one game.
Yep.
Oh man. God. Okay.
Before the show started, I was telling you that I had a piece of news that trumped the Blue Beetle Booster Gold movie.
Well, all right, that might as well be the segue, because I could spend an hour just talking about how exciting this game's going to be, but we're doing DC on Screen, so I'm going to have to bury the little child inside me and try to get on to actual on-screen news, right?
Well, I mean, I just want to say, really quick, though, this isn't just, this is DC on screen. We're talking about DC characters on screen, and this counts.
No,
but this isn't just...
They're DC characters, and they're on a screen. That's
Yeah. This isn't just Batman teaming up with Doctor Who, though.
Which is enough.
This is Doctor Who.
That's enough right there. Being able to go grab Doc Marty.
This is Doctor Who teaming up with Back to the Future.
I know.
And the Ghostbusters.
I know.
Oh...
But
yeah, they're going to be releasing tons of expansion packs.
That's insane. God, that's insane.
Oh, I didn't even get like a full cast listing. Like, I know Matt Lillard is coming in. He's doing Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Like, so many people are coming in. They were just throwing up names left and right. It was crazy.
God, that's amazing. That really is amazing.
Oh man. All right. So
well, then
we're going to move on.
The big news then that you already dropped for me this week was Booster Gold Blue Beetle.
Well, yeah, this is a rumor. I haven't seen it confirmed by
I've
DC.
seen quotes. They've got people in place. They already know who's like producing, and they're thinking about grabbing Zach Penn to come in and write it.
Yeah, I know. I did see that, but I still haven't seen an official anything from Warner Brothers.
No, not a Warner Brothers press release yet. That would be really comforting.
Right.
I've just seen it as quote. I'm almost sure I saw something from. If I can find it, I think I saw something from my nemesis Diane, actually confirming that they were working on it. So we'll call this one 70% sure. I'll call it 70% sure.
Yeah. So as longtime listeners to the show know, the reason they can't use Blue Beetle and Booster Gold in Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, or The Flash is because he's been supposedly groomed for...
Right. Jeff Johns turned him down and said, we've got something in the works for that, which sounded like a bizarre brush off. I mean, I don't know why. But and the idea is they're going to let Berlanti head the thing, which is good because apparently he's just got a hot wire to DC right now. And he actually does. Berlanti Productions has an overall deal with Warner Brothers, in particular to do with DC Entertainment. So he's pretty much got as much green light potential as anybody in the game right now.
Right.
There's a reason he's our hero. One of them. We have so many heroes, so many people to thank.
The idea is they're trying to snag Zach Penn from Marvel. They're gonna Greg Berlanti directing.
And probably story by, if I was guessing. He's already got a couple.
Yeah.
Like, he had written a pilot for Booster Gold a few years back, apparently. And
and a
shopped
Blue
it
Beetle
around.
TV show.
Right.
He had a Blue Beetle pilot. So there's a movie.
They were going to use that property to replace Smallville once it was gone. And
yeah. So we're looking at a Blue Beetle Booster Gold team up buddy cop comedy.
Emphasis on comedy.
Yeah.
Which will be refreshing if we're.
I'm
think about how deep how deep these
down
movies are that are coming out from Warner Brothers right now. The DC universe, extended universe, they're calling it, is very dark.
Right.
And I'm good with that. Like they're going for it, and something that they're going to be able to do well that Marvel hasn't quite hit yet is they're going to be able to do the villains. I think. And I think it's partly because they're choosing to stay so dampened with their tone, but.
Yeah, for whatever I'll say, whatever I've said previously on this podcast about Man of Steel, and I probably said it in the Man of Steel review, Zod was a deeper villain than most of the Marvel movies have.
Easy. I mean, James Spader couldn't even make a truly compelling villain. Don't get me wrong. Ultron, I think, is as close as they've gotten. Absolutely compelling, but it doesn't have that edge. I mean, don't get me wrong, Loki, but he's got like an anti-hero feel to him anyway. Even through the first Avengers, you feel like he's just one step away from being on the right side of it.
Yeah, he's Spike from Buffy.
Right. Or several other people from Buffy, because Whedon. He's so good at threading that line, man. God, he's good at that.
He's good, yeah.
And then, Spader coming in to give the mannerisms and voice to Ultron was about as close as I've seen it, but they haven't gotten anywhere even close to a Joker. No one's gotten close. And, Leto, whatever his name is. What did we decide his name's actually supposed to be? Leto?
It is Leto, yeah.
Just doesn't feel right. But okay. Leto, even in the clips we've seen of him, is just fucking engaging, right?
Yeah. I would agree with you.
He's chewing that setup. And, God, that's where his teeth went, probably.
Right now, Warner Brothers and DC, by extension, is already flipping Marvel the villain bird so hard that they're actually making a movie about their villains.
Right. But and
I mean,
the point of this will be
what you want.
It'll be really refreshing to get out, because this is how I felt about Ant-Man. The stories had gotten so big in the Marvel universe that it was nice to see Ant-Man be kind of a lot smaller.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, it had world-ending consequences.
No pun intended.
Yeah. But technically, I know the movie has world-ender consequences. Technically, but it never quite feels like that. It feels like a movie about a dude and his little girl. That's all it felt like to me, and it was really it was a nice breath of fresh air. And this, if they do it and then get to include them in Justice League, or even, there's nowhere you couldn't include Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and me be happy. There's nowhere that doesn't fit. Put him in the Green Lantern Corps if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, they did tease Booster Gold in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I hated to see the Man of Steel 2 go on, permanent hiatus, I guess, for a second. But
see, that's the other thing.
If it comes out and the money ends up going to Booster Gold, that's fine.
I guess we'll go ahead. That's a good segue then.
Okay.
On to all these Man of Steel 2 rumors.
Do news at some point, I guess.
Yeah, there are all these Man of Steel 2 rumors, and like a few weeks ago, like George Miller might be directing it. Then they said, "Oh, it's going to be put on hold." Then a bunch of rumors came out saying like Man of Steel 2 is not on hold. In fact, it's going to include Brainiac looking for Supergirl. and that she has the same genetic code, like the codex in her body that Kal-El had, and he's looking for it. And from what he knows of Kryptonians, he creates Bizarro to fight Superman, with George Miller directing. And then they came out and they were like, well, no, that is like, these are all rumors. Someone else came out and said, no, that's a dead concept. And they cannibalized that script or that idea for Justice League and Batman v Superman. So other people are thinking like, oh my God, that means Brainiac's going to be the bad guy in Justice League.
That was an old treatment then that somebody found.
Yeah. Yeah, so now everyone's freaking out and they think, oh, well, if they cannibalized it for BVS and Justice League, that means Supergirl and Brainiac have to be in Justice League, or at the very least, Brainiac.
It doesn't mean Supergirl has to be anywhere. She's on CBS. I think that idea is probably gone. You're not getting a Supergirl in the movies.
Maybe, but we're getting 2 Flashes, so...
I know. I think that's going to end up being the exception, not the rule, though.
Who the hell knows, man? I mean, well, we've already also got Gotham. We've got 2 Alfreds and 2
And Gotham's sitting in its own little bubble that doesn't have to be touched by anything. That's how they're getting away with using whoever they want. They could use Blue Beetle right now and it wouldn't matter.
Now, there is another exciting rumor, and that rumor is that George Miller has his pick of either doing Man of Steel 2 or Justice League Dark, the movie that up until very recently Guillermo del Toro was going to direct.
I guess I'll take him on Justice League Dark, but man,
right?
I don't want to. I'm just not getting it up for George Miller.
Well, it looks like Pacific Rim 2 may be shelved, so Guillermo might actually have another shot. I don't know.
Well, good. You know, and I never got around to watching Pacific Rim, and I'm confused because it was giant aliens fighting robots, and I'm a guy, but just never got around to it.
Pacific Rim was amazing.
That's what I heard.
And it might be only shelved because they, the same studio that has it is going to do a King Kong movie and then Godzilla 2, and then they're going to do a movie that pits like all the monsters against each other.
Yeah. I heard they were.
And that has more name. Yeah, that has more name brand recognition than Pacific Rim 2. So
sure.
I'm just saying, do Pacific Rim 2 with those other movies, and then have the kaiju and all of that the same. Just bring them in, but
just do the whole thing.
That's just my 8-year-old self talking.
Hey, it'll happen.
On to other DC
I forget
news.
who it is. One of the companies is about to start a new round of original horror. They're doing, going back for Dracula and Frankenstein and all that. Mummy, everything. That one will delight me because I'm an old school kind of guy. That's where a lot of my.
So you're in favor of the Marvelization of the Universal monsters?
Sure. I mean, sure.
Well, I'm not. Apparently, they're still planning on going through with that, but Dracula Untold was supposed to be the first installment of that, and it didn't do very well.
They're still claiming they're going to do it, which kills me because I really am an old school vampire fan. Like way before this whole vampires glitter bullshit. Before the whole True Blood fiasco.
Right.
I liked the actual, mythology of vampires, and it's always been a fun story for me. Always have loved Dracula stuff. Never got around to that.
Mm-hmm.
I even watched Dracula 2000 when it came out.
Oh,
I even watched that.
Bastard.
I went to a theater.
You poor bastard.
I know. It's commitment, sir.
But yeah, so if you want to get on the Universal...
I apologize for getting off subject, but it is getting near Halloween as far as I can tell, and, you start getting zombies on the mind and stuff.
Well, yeah, that tends to happen. So, yeah, Dracula Untold is the first installment of what I understand is the Marvelization of the Universal monsters, so you guys should go check that out. Maybe it'll get a cult following and they'll keep it in canon. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it can get a true Marvelization. We buried the Incredible Hulk, didn't we? Or, no, I'm sorry, it was the Hulk. The Incredible Hulk was the really, truly bad one.
Yeah.
That we've all chosen to... Like, the one that almost broke Marvel before it even got off the ground.
Oh, it didn't do that.
It was bad.
Were still... Well, number one, it wasn't that bad.
They got cold feet.
I actually... You know what? I like the Ang Lee Hulk more than I like the Incredible Hulk with Norton.
Really?
I really do.
I've never heard that before. I'd be curious to go back and watch both of them. I thought it was a better movie. But anyway...
Well, I thought the Ang Lee Hulk was a little more psychologically based, and I enjoyed that factor. Anyway, back to DC.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to do the actual
Speaking of Man of Steel 2,
let's try to pull right through the news. I'm sorry, guys.
Speaking of Man of Steel 2, I mean we get sidetracked.
We've been so excited,
what can I say?
And there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Max Landis, this is the guy that wrote Chronicle, and he also did that viral video, Death and Life of Superman.
That video alone, if you just got nothing going on and you got 30 minutes, dude, completely worth it. Cameos all over the place. Does a wonderful job of retelling actually the weirdness
Elijah
that
Wood.
was that like 90s Superman's dead but he's not thing. Yeah, Elijah Wood. Simon
like
Pegg's
Elijah
in there
Wood.
for a second.
Simon Pegg, yeah. It's good stuff. So he went on Screen Junkies and Movie Fights and on YouTube and gave a crazy but amazing pitch for Man of Steel 2. Like, just what he would do. I can't even do it justice, but he's just coming up with this crap off the top of his head, and this is why he should be writing more. Like, he's got
he does great
really
with
good
power stuff. He does. Like, Chronicle was really fucking good.
Yeah. He's got some pretty interesting ideas for Man of Steel 2. I mean, they're not going to happen, but it's a fun way to waste 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
In the news here, Matt Damon is saying that Jason Bourne could kick Ben Affleck's Batman's ass.
I saw that. I'd love to see it tried.
Yeah, I'd love to see him try. Unfortunately, we could never see him try because just by virtue of Jason Bourne being in the scene, it would have to be that shaky cam, so you couldn't actually ever see
never
what
really
was
see
happening.
a fight. Yeah.
Which is why I don't watch the Bourne movies.
It's a problem you had with the Star Trek films too recently.
Right. I hate shaky cam.
I know.
Interesting bit. Gal Gadot almost played Faora in Man of Steel.
Really?
But by the time they told her that she was cast as Faora, she was like a month pregnant and she turned it down. But if she had done that, she couldn't have been Wonder Woman now.
I think she looks great as Wonder Woman, so I think this might have worked out great. And free baby.
Yeah, and by the way, she looks great to have had a child.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a you go girl kind of moment right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
killing it.
I think she might be my hero.
Right.
I still have baby weight, and I'm a dude. I've never had a kid.
Right.
For any of those who don't know how, anatomy works.
How kidding works. Yeah.
So, Jeremy Irons was asked about his Alfred, and he said he's only in about 5 or so scenes. But he said Zack Snyder, the director, wanted to create a completely different Alfred. So I felt I didn't have to carry any baggage from previous Alfreds. It's sort of a reincarnation, if you'd like. I had a feeling I was creating my own Alfred, more of a man who can actually do anything if he has to. So I'm glad that Jeremy Irons feels like that he's treading on new ground.
Yeah. I don't want
Sean
Weepy
Pertwee?
Alfred back.
Right. Sean Pertwee? Anyone?
Yeah,
Anyone?
seriously.
Gotham? Badass Alfred? Or from, what was it, like Earth 2, New 52, Beware the Batman? Like, any of these Alfreds will do.
Yeah.
They're all badasses.
No, the Pertwee
even the
one
Alfred
right
from
now,
animated series.
Yeah, even him. He was kind of his own snarky little badass. No, the Alfred
he
in,
was actually,
in Gotham
he
right
was
now
an
is...
MI6 agent.
He was
in
oh,
canon.
Yeah.
In
He
the
was.
DCAU.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. But exactly how he just described it, someone who could do anything if you needed him to. Man, that's fucking Pertwee right now, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and I think
I've heard fans complain about this, but I kind of really dig this take on Alfred. This has been one of my favorite things to come out of this whole like New 52 crap. Is Alfred's a badass again?
Right. Well, right now he's an armless badass, a mopey armless badass, if I remember correctly. I haven't read a lot after Endgame, so I don't know.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I number 41
sure
got immediately into Gordon in a bat suit, and I was I'm just going to tune out for a minute. I'm sorry. I apologize, just in general for my behavior, but I tuned out. I'm going to wait until that passes, and then
That's fair.
I'll check it back.
You know it's going to pass.
Yeah, and
you know it's going to pass.
I know. Maybe Alfred will get a nice hook.
Well, in your absence from Batman, pop over to Justice League and check out the Bat God stuff. Like Batman sitting in like Metatron's chair.
Yeah, you told me about that.
That's getting really fun.
No, and you told me about a fascinating moment where he asks like, "What's the Joker's real name?" and the chair tells him, and he says, "No, it can't be."
Yeah, he is just very factual. He just goes, "No, that's impossible."
Right? Oh, okay.
And we move on with our day. Like he's just like, "Okay, I can't trust the chair for everything."
Right.
Because even the Batman is willing to sneer at a god chair.
Hey, if anyone can tell Kirby to fuck himself, it's Batman.
But he wouldn't, because he has proper respect for Jack Kirby.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of old school creators who haven't gotten their due.
I was hoping you'd get there.
Bill Finger, man.
Hell yes.
He is finally getting credit. He's finally going to be getting credit for.
At this point, 76 years worth of changing the world is what he fucking gets credit for.
Right, exactly. Like, Bob Kane has always been credited as the creator of Batman, and in fact, he did create Batman, but in a very loose sense. Bill Finger was the one who pretty much put most of the Batman mythos as we know them into play. He created the Penguin, he created Robin, the Joker, the Batcave, like so many things.
Like Bob Kane pretty much created a dude who runs around in a bat suit, and then Bill Finger created everything that's cool about him.
Yep.
Everything.
Pretty much.
The detective part, I mean, don't get me wrong, Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil came back and focused on a couple of things that had gotten lost over the years and really took it to a different place. And, we started getting the Dark Knight out of it. But Finger put all of that shit in motion. All of the stuff that you care about.
So, starting on Gotham Season 2, in the credits, it will carry over into Batman v Superman. That will be the first Batman movie that has it on there. It'll say Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
That's amazing.
So, yay!
That really
finally.
Is, yeah. So there is some real justice in the fucking world.
Yeah, right? Because Bill Finger's the real Batman.
He is, dude. That's 76 years worth of hope and good that man brought, and he's never fucking gotten credit for it. Just never gotten what he should have. And how much, if you're listening to this podcast, just think about how much Batman affected you. And
just imagine that over the years, every time you see an old movie or TV show that says Batman created by Bob Kane, imagine that it's really saying Batman created by the Joker.
Right. And
then remember that Tim Burton movie, and remember how pissed off you were that Batman killed the Joker killed Batman's parents, and that he did in fact create the Batman.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
This was a turn for good. This was a good thing. And, it's all starting to get kind of sorted out, I guess. There aren't as many... Actually, I think that was the last one I really knew about as a major discrepancy in the who created whom kind of thing. Because Superman and Batman are accounted for and credited properly.
Yeah. So, not that a lot of people... Not that a lot of people will care about that as far as, like, mainstream people who are just kind of like, I just want to hear about Batman stuff. Okay. But, I mean, this is kind of a big deal. And this is, we certainly haven't created anything as popular as Batman and Superman on our own, but at the same time, we are creators. We're writers. We've created things, and to have that stripped away from you, as soon as it gets popular, it's stripped away from you, and you never make a dime off of it, and you die in poverty, and never get credit for it.
Which happened to one of the guys who created Superman.
Actually, it happened to both of the guys that created Superman.
Well, one of them actually lived to see it. The other one didn't.
Yeah, I mean, both of them lived to see it to some degree, but, I mean, oh my gosh, man. Like, that's just awful.
Yeah,
like,
it sucks.
So anyway, on to other news. Wonder Woman, apparently production will start in November on different set locations. London, England, Rome, Italy. They're thinking that, as Jason said or surmised a few weeks ago, Themyscira would be Italy. Mm-hmm. So that looks like it's panning out exactly as Jason said it. Woo-hoo. So heed our words, Internet. Heed our words.
Behold our awesome prognosticatory powers.
We also we got a tip from our buddy Christopher White. It looks like the movie's going to center on the god of war Ares and the sorceress. Is it Circe? Circe? I don't.
I've heard it said Circe.
It looks like
I've heard that one. I don't know. It's one of those Rage Raj things.
It looks like Sean Bean and Eva Green, respectively, are being highly considered for those roles. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's really interesting seeing the Wonder Woman stuff coming in, and the rumor is that it'll start off in World War II era and end in the present day.
Yeah, and come on, you're starting in World War II. We've got to have Steve Trevor involved somewhere.
Not World War I, man.
Oh, is it one? Okay, but still, it's you start in one of the World War times. My first thought is Steve Trevor.
Well,
just every time.
Steve Trevor is involved. He's being played by Chris Pine.
Sure, I know. But my problem was, or my question, I'm just kind of curious about what they're going to do with the time thing here. Like, are we going to go to present day at all, or is Trevor old? I'm going to be curious about that.
I don't know, but
he's just a dude. I mean, he's going to age between World War and present.
Well, from what I'm hearing, he's got a multi-picture deal, so he'll probably be showing up in multiple movies.
Good. I'm hoping he's part of the present tense then, so part of the modern world.
Yeah. So your nemesis is back in the news.
I saw.
Once again, our buddy Christopher White sent us this little tidbit, and then it showed up every freaking where else. Mm-hmm. Diane Nelson has she explained why they would not be sharing a universe with the TV. The movies in the TV universes would not be the same universe. She said it could end up handcuffing our creators into trying to work with the same storyline or force them to hold back characters or introduce certain characters. Ultimately, it hinders the ability for someone like Bruno Heller to come in and create Gotham. Now,
obviously,
I take issue with what she said.
I have three right off the top of my head, Diane. You bitch.
Well, first of all, she's saying that, is handcuffing characters and not letting them introduce certain characters, which is exactly what she's been doing this entire time.
That's exactly
what Batman be on Arrow.
Yeah, she's done that so many times already. And where was that philosophy when you decided to make Ezra Miller the Flash?
Right.
WTF, Diane. So what happened there? Why are you handcuffing him now? Plus, it doesn't handcuff anything. The Flash has fixed this for you, too. You're going to have multiple universes now in canon, in the Berlantiverse. Let it ride. You can do whatever you want. It's free-filled. Put your tent wherever. It's not going to handcuff anybody to have to deal with another problem. And, don't use Gotham as an excuse. Gotham can do whatever it fucking wants because it has nothing to do with these other storylines. It sits in its own timeless little bubble. You could bring in whoever you wanted, and it doesn't affect a thing. You can cast Superman right now in Gotham, and it doesn't affect the movies. No. Sorry, Diane. Try again.
Yep.
I'll forgive her if she lets Batman show up on Arrow.
Well, hopefully she'll go away. Hopefully her new position means that someone else can come in and be like, you know what? She's full of shit. Let's do this.
No, she's president of DC Entertainment. I don't know if that's going to... I don't know if we're going to get a fix
she's moved on to... I don't know if she's left the president of DC Entertainment and moved on to, because I know she's now, Warner Brothers. She's moved on to actual Warner Brothers.
Right.
Something. So she's head of a bunch of crap over there.
The way I understood it, she was still in charge of the DCEU, no matter how much her job changed. My
ardent hope is that she just gets distracted.
Yeah.
And they can kind of pull some shit behind her back. I don't know.
No, I'm wanting it... You know how you can do things with legislation where you put a bill up that seems like it makes complete sense, and the 115th clause on it is some bizarre shit that you wanted to sneak in? I think that's how we're going to have to do this. And I think it's going to have to be teamwork. I want Stephen Amell and Jeff Johns to get on this shit.
Yeah. And the fans...
And grab Ezra Miller, because he apparently understands this whole multiverse thing. So grab Ezra Miller while you're there.
Yeah.
You go gang up and go to the offices. I'll drive you all. It'd be an honor.
Oh my gosh. All right. Speaking of Gotham, Robin Lord Taylor, the cat playing the Penguin,
playing the fuck out of the Penguin,
says, yeah. Well, he wants for viewers of Gotham to finally meet Penguin's dad. And he actually has an idea of who he wants. He's very definite in who he wants to play his father. He says he's a huge Paul Reubens fan, huge fan of Pee Wee Herman. And
good call, man.
He said, I would just love it if we could get him on. If we could establish Oswald's parents and have it be Paul Reubens. That would be incredible.
God, good call, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, and it's such a good call that it's already been done.
Wait, hold on. I missed that. What have I missed?
Paul Reubens. Yeah, Paul Reubens played the Penguin's father in Batman Returns.
Holy
shit,
you're
1992
right.
Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito film.
Holy shit.
Sure enough. So,
wow.
yeah. So, the cast members are coming out.
In the course of it, he brings up an excellent point. I gotta go back and watch the Keaton movies again. I was... No, I'm gonna let myself off the hook. We're probably doing that next summer as during the hiatus of TV and movies when they abandon us.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have time for it now, man. TV's ramping up.
No, I'm trying to finish the damn Flash.
I know. Me too. So Gotham cast members are coming out, and they have said, Season 2 is going to be more serialized, which I think we've already reported on. Mackenzie said that... Well, he responded, someone noted that the premiere of Season 2 looked or felt like a second pilot. And Mackenzie said, yeah, we're re-originating the show pretty significantly. You could say this is a second pilot, and you're right. The first pilot we made did show how it could be a grand serialized saga, but it got diverted into the procedural act. We basically needed to end the first season and right the ship to move it back where it should have been. There's 75 years of this stuff, all of these characters and all these movies. They're really rich and have this really complicated moral landscape that they're living in. So let's, explore that.
Hell yeah, Mackenzie.
Right? And Sean Pertwee said that the new episodes, quote, rip along and push together into longer story arcs. And he says, I think it feels like there are less pages to the scripts, but more going on.
Interesting. That's actually, I don't know, man. Those are both really kind of exciting things to hear.
Yeah, and he also confirmed. Actually, by the way, we are lovers of words and language, and this is amazing. Sean Pertwee referred to the first season as being banderjacked.
Wow,
banderjacked by excessive breaks, causing the flow of the story to get lost. He says, we won't have that extra break, that March Madness thing. We're doing 11, break, then another 11.
Good. Okay, these people have got, by the way, banderjack, man. That's worth a standing O right there. I don't think I've run across that word since like 10th grade reading assignment.
Right. And now I'm feeling the excitement that I wish I'd felt during our Gotham What to Expect episode.
Hey, there's plenty of time. And I didn't
know Banderjacked would do it.
Yeah, well, hey, I could have guessed, I guess. Now, something you mentioned, I'll go ahead and bring up, is there are more promos if anyone's looking to watch them. But I have seen enough. I think Dave agrees with me on this. We've seen enough we've been fed enough of the pot. We just want to watch the damn show now. So there's promos. It premieres in again, we record these on Saturday. It premieres in 3 days from when we're doing it. By the time this episode gets out, it will premiere tomorrow. Just hang in there. But if you want to, go back and check out the promos. I'm sure they're good.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's something about there's one where Ben McKenzie talks about Gordon being fired and doing illegal shit to get his job back, which I did see a different promo where he had done something and Loeb used it as an excuse to fire him,
of course,
and actually mentioned that Bullock has already quit.
Ooh.
So that's why we haven't seen a lot of Bullock, because he quit.
Gotcha. That's gonna be fun.
So yeah,
he's gonna end up being oh man, I'd love to see just a season with Bullock hanging out with a Bud Light and a Hawaiian t-shirt the entire time.
Right.
Just chilling, cracking wise,
Now, I don't know what this is about, but they released a weird little short rundown of who Jerome is with new footage. It's called #Maniacs with an X, MANIAX. And there's just some real quick shots of... Yeah, I don't know. There's a quick shot. There are lots of quick shots of Jerome just doing very jokery things. It looks like a lot of fun. Hopefully it will be. Speaking of Joker and Jerome, I should say, Cameron Monaghan was talking about Jerome, and he says he's a living ticking time bomb, and he meets a man who realizes how to access that and utilize it in a way that's extremely destructive on a more massive level than what Jerome had previously been. So he gets to basically throw a big party for himself, a big murderous party. Jim.
Spoken like Jim, the clown prince of crime right there.
Yeah. Jim is a representative of a greater idea of law and order, and everything Jerome resents and rebels against it. I think he wants to use him to demonstrate to the rest of the city exactly how he feels.
Okay. I mean...
Now, if you don't want to wait, if you're one of these... Well, if you have a PlayStation 4, apparently you can already get the Gotham premiere, because they've already leaked it, or they've, excuse me, they've already released it to PlayStation 4 people.
Really?
People who have that. And, and of course, as you might surmise, because of that, it has now leaked online in all of its grand illegal torrenting goodness.
Of course.
So, float out to international waters and check that out if you just have to. I'm going to wait for the premiere.
Actually, I'm going to wait for the premiere on this one. I don't know. Normally, I probably would go find it through whatever means, but yeah, I think I'm actually just going to chill on that and wait. Plus, it'll give me 2 more days to try to finish The Flash.
Yeah. Now, here is one more big thing that has got me really excited about Gotham Season 2. Again, wish I'd seen this when we did the preview episode.
It wasn't available. You couldn't have known.
I know. There is a big rumor that 2 main characters will die early on this season.
Oh, really?
They're not saying who, but that would establish a very interesting precedent.
Yeah,
in Gotham.
That not everyone's going to make it to the final Rogues Gallery.
Like I mean, one of the most exciting things to me about the finale was that Fish Mooney to go back and, keep to my word, bedazzled Callisto.
Right.
Blew Maroni's brains out.
Uh-huh. Unceremoniously, too. It was kind of, I hated that. I like that guy. I always have enjoyed him.
I do, too.
He was delightful in Dexter. Even good in one episode of Burn Notice.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be really messed up. It's going to be really messed up if it's Bruce.
That may be that may be a thrown refrigerator or jumped shark, however you like to.
Or it might be just what the show needs.
Right. I mean, they were saying that Joker's more of a concept and blah blah blah, but that'd be a hell of a hell of a thing to throw at us is kill off Bruce Wayne. Now, if the only way I would possibly accept it is if you kill off Bruce Wayne and in his honor Alfred takes up the threads and the cowl. Only way I'd
Gordon.
do it. Yeah, I could deal with Gordon, but I really want to see Pertwee beat some ass. It's so much more fun.
Yeah.
And Gordon needs to be Gordon.
All right. All right. Over to The Flash. They released a 3 weeks trailer. That's what it's called, 3 weeks. And it showcases lots of cool behind-the-scenes stuff. I would say it's worth watching only to see the guy in the weird mocap suit for Atom Smasher. Because Atom Smasher grows.
Yeah.
So they've got this, it looks like some weird Star Wars alien.
Right.
And then they, mesh it into what the final scene will be with Atom Smasher growing and holding the Flash by the throat.
And
it's a lot of fun.
In the preview, when the promo they did release for the Flash, the Smasher looked pretty good in the graphics. Actually, all the graphics for the Flash so far looked pretty great in the trailers, or what we've seen of season 2.
Yeah. Now they did also release a new poster with Barry on his knees screaming with lightning bolts going through him. It's a pretty cool poster. I mean, if they release that for retail, that might wind up on my wall.
Well, if the internet even just rips it well enough for you, that might still end up on the wall.
Yeah. So someone gave Andrew Kreisberg, in relation to season 2, a word association exercise. And this is what we got out of it.
A fun way to do an interview. I wish more people did that.
Yeah, me too.
Never do it with Michael Shannon, though. That cock.
Zod. Doomsday. I mean, flippers. Flippers.
Hands. Flippers. Flippers. No.
So, Barry Allen, New Love. Iris West, Face from the Past. Caitlin Snow, Burr. Cisco Ramon, Metahuman.
Oh, good.
Harrison Wells, alive?
Did you put a question mark on it?
Yes.
Oh, God. And you know what? As much as I enjoyed watching Harrison Wells be evil, and dude, Kavanaugh he killed it. He did a great job with it.
Yeah.
As much as I enjoyed it, though, man, those couple of scenes with him just being like, a genuine dude scientist, I could deal with that for a minute. Let the actual Harrison Wells come back and lead the team proper with an actual, moral, forgiving the joke about the wheelchair, upright man.
Yeah, I agree. Joe West, Stalwart.
Really? Okay.
Ronnie Raymond, Bravery. Henry Allen, Heart. Jay Garrick, Broken.
Oh.
Patty Spivot, Delightful.
Okay, that part sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Jay Garrick Broken thing.
Jay Garrick Broken's got to be the Burr and Broken are the highlights, I think. Cisco Metahuman's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I want him to get to that as soon as possible.
Now, Kreisberg was asked about Wally West's introduction. he said that he would liken Wally coming in to the way that they brought in Colton Haynes on Arrow. He said, just like with Colton, who eventually one day put on the Arsenal costume, I wouldn't be surprised if one day Wally West becomes Kid Flash. Part of the season is watching Barry mature and grow up not just as the Flash, but as Barry Allen, suddenly introducing him to a bit of a wayward kid who has some attitude problems and some authority issues and is quick with a sassy remark, all of which is very Wally West.
Oh, yeah.
And watching Wally integrate into Star Labs universe, but also just the world of these characters is going to be a lot of fun for the back half of the year.
Okay. And yeah, he's right. It is going to be the back half of the year because we know what they're doing for the first half of the year. We know what everybody's
They're building
doing.
up to Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
So, on to Arrow, I suppose.
Sure. Shoot over.
September 22nd, Arrow Season 3 Blu-ray is dropping. Speaking of Colton Haynes, he did confirm he'll be back on Arrow.
Good, I got used to Abercrombie.
He says, I just finished a very, very sad movie, but I'm about to go...
I've been sad for a very long time, and I would like to go play now.
Yeah. He says, but I'm about to go into 2 other projects, and then, find some time to maybe step back into... then he trails off. And so everyone kind of flipped out, and he was like, it's one call away. So yeah, you will definitely be seeing me back on Arrow and possibly a few of the spinoff shows.
Really?
And one of the reporters said, so you're appearing on The Flash. And he says, are you putting words in my mouth? Let's just say I would love to, and if it happens, it's going to blow everyone's minds. If it happens.
Oh,
and
see, now, if it's going to be that big for him, he can't be Speedy now. Those threads have been passed. He's got to be Arsenal.
Hold on. So then, he was Arsenal before.
Yeah,
except for that one weird episode.
Right. But he's never been Arsenal. I want, guns coming out of every orifice. And I want one less arm. Sorry.
The press con host said, whether or not you're appearing anywhere else, we're neither confirming nor denying. And he says, I think we're confirming, and he smiles and winks.
I don't know. He seems like the kind of guy that might smile and wink a lot.
I know.
Paul McCartney does that shit. He'll just wink at you.
At his age, I think that's more of a tick.
No, he started this early. You watch the footage of those kids. He's a long time winker.
It's like, damn it, Jason. McCartney's having a stroke.
That's how we'll know he's not having a stroke.
So
he's gonna live forever. I want to believe it at least.
So Stephen Amell is saying that there is no lighter tone for Arrow.
What? He just said there was.
He said, I read in a lot of publications that it's going to have a lighter tone. Whatever, it's Arrow. Arrow is Arrow.
I wonder if he just got a hold of some of the newer scripts and saw where it was going and is trying to cope himself. I mean, look, they did. They sat there and said all summer, and come on, Stephen. Mm-hmm. Don't try that. Don't sidestep. No wriggling. You said all summer that it was a lighter tone. All of your producers said all summer it was a lighter tone. That it was going to be a little different show. That they had, and all the promotional material was there. All the Coast City Green Lantern signs. No wriggling, sir. And
yeah.
But then they give us that freaking promo that says "Embrace your dark side."
Yeah. So
I believe he is
right.
It's just kind of come on now.
Over to Legends of Tomorrow. Mark Guggenheim, the EP, teased the Metal Men for Legends of Tomorrow.
I saw.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Casper Crumb posted Instagram photos of himself working out with the dude that's playing Hawkman.
Gotcha.
Pictures of himself at a comic book shop, and then tons of Vandal Savage comics. Of
course.
And then him practicing archery, saying, "Watch out, Arrow, we're coming for you."
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
For our listeners who aren't in the know, Casper Crumb is playing Vandal Savage in Legends of Tomorrow.
I know. You know how rare it is. This is maybe the first time I've ever seen it. You know how rare it is to take a character from a DC or Marvel's universe and actually downgrade how cool your name sounds.
Yeah.
He's got a supervillain name as is.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like Vandal Savage could be the boss of Casper Crumb.
Right. His right-hand man. His Ubu.
This Jay Jackson character that everyone was freaking out about.
I freaked out. I spent hours this summer trying to figure out who he was.
Yeah, well, we got an idea of who he is now.
Finally.
When asked about Jay Jackson, showrunner for Legends, Phil Klemmer, said, I will say he's probably the last person that Professor Stein wanted to share Firestorm with. I think for me, it's all about tension and interpersonal friction, so this isn't the normal superhero story where everybody's on the same team, pushing in the same direction. It's really about us sort of turning on ourselves and whether we can learn to get along in order to save the world. So apparently this cat is going to be sharing Firestorm with Professor Stein.
How does that work?
We wondered, I don't know, but we wondered why Ronnie Raymond wasn't going to be in Legends. Well,
yeah,
here's our...
okay, yeah, I mean...
Here's our answer.
I'll sit back and wait.
Yeah,
I guess till 2016.
Yeah,
because I don't. And what's his name? Robbie Amell is still going to be showing up on The Flash. As Ronnie Raymond. I mean, there's no change there. But you did wonder in the little bit of promotional stuff you've seen for LOT. You did wonder, if Ronnie's all the way over there, how is he still flaming on over here? But
I think Caitlin's got to become Killer Frost.
Sure.
I don't see a way of that happening any better than if Ronnie dies.
Yeah, that's a good
point. And there's
point.
Precedent for it in the comics.
No, you're right.
There's precedent. And especially since the word that was used to describe him in that word association test was bravery.
That's a good point. All right, we'll hold back on that. Now, and we can expound upon it, I guess, during the Flash and Arrow previews.
And I've got two more bits of news.
Shoot.
How it should have ended. They do a great little series over there. It's called Super Cafe. They've done so many great bits with Batman and Superman. Pretty much all comic book movie episodes that they do.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite
Batman and Superman
knockoffs of the Christopher Nolan Batman.
Yeah,
they're easily one of my favorites.
So they had How It Should Have Ended. They've put out a parody of Taylor Swift's Bad Blood involving Batman.
Of course they did.
It's pretty good, man.
Of course they did. How is that song getting so much... Ryan Adams just covered that damn thing. Like, how is that song? I don't understand the world sometimes, Dave.
I know. I will say, not much for the song, but it is catchy, and the video is actually really well directed.
Really? Well, okay.
Yeah.
Nah, it's Taylor Swift.
Someone told me
I want to hate her when her songs come on the radio, they're in your head for 30 minutes.
They are. They really are. And, I'm not the type of person who would go and check out, just be like, oh, I wonder what this Taylor Swift video looks like.
Right.
But, I was very heavily encouraged to check it out and wound up looking at it under great duress and wound up thinking, if it wasn't for the song, this video would be pretty cool.
Right.
One more bit of news, and to me, an exciting piece of news. October 18th is the release date for Adult Swim's Robot Chicken DC Comics Special 3 Magical Friendship.
Hell yeah. Okay.
I
don't get around to Robot Chicken a lot. It's hit or miss. Sometimes I catch it, sometimes I don't. I usually get around, though, for the DC stuff.
Yeah, the DC specials are always really a lot of fun.
They do a great job.
I still periodically get... Lex Luthor's 80s hair band song, Sex Luthor, stuck in my head.
Just at the most inopportune moments, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's just a brilliant bit. It's like he's trying to command the Legion of Doom, and they find on YouTube that there's footage of Sex Luthor. No one takes him seriously. He's screaming at them, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" Breaking things. It's great.
That sounds right.
So, I'm really looking forward to Magical Friendship. It looks like they're going to be bringing in the Adam West Batman. They're going to be doing... They're bringing... It looks like they're bringing in both, multiverse stuff, and they're going to be bringing in the Batman versus Superman fight. So...
Cool.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be fun. That's all I have for this week.
Oh, that's all?
That's it.
That's all you had? Only an hour's worth of rambling and news?
Yeah.
God, really we're really dropping the ball.
Actually, both of mine have dropped. Oh, never mind.
I think we've rambled on those topics as well as we could have. For certainly as long as we could have. Well, that's not true. What'd you say we have 1,500 minutes worth of rambling at this point?
Yeah, my toughest job here. I mean, outside. Well, I mean, I've got news aggregation. I've got, editing to some degree, and doing all the SEO and posting and all that crap, trying to get it out there. My hardest job is moving on to the next topic.
It's difficult. It's really difficult.
It really is. And I have to just, like, make myself do it. I'm like, okay, on to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because I know you still got more. And I know I got more.
The rambling would never end. It
really wouldn't.
Robert Plant-style ramble on.
You guys would be, like, scoffing at the notion of listening to a 7-hour podcast.
Right.
And we'd be wondering why no one's downloading anything. So...
Because no one has 7 hours worth of room on their phone.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us on this episode. Stay tuned. This week, we're also going to be dropping our Arrow Season 4, What to Expect, and our The Flash Season 2, What to Expect episodes. We hope you guys join us for that.
We expect great things.
We
expect things.
One of us do.
Hey, you half expect great things. You're looking forward to The Flash. Don't you try to hide it.
Yep. I half expect great things.
Right.
We are DC On Screen. We are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher and myriad podcatchers all around the interwebs. If you like our podcast and want a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go check out our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall at the Marvel Cinematic Universe Podcast or MCUcast.com. By the way, we're all we're both of us on Facebook as well. So go and hit that like button and go over to iTunes and give us reviews. But, only if you feel strongly. I don't want to pressure you into anything.
I do.
No means no.
I know that. I do want to pressure you to go out and get the word out. I have no qualms with pressuring that.
I realize we're on the internet. Jason, we're on the internet. You have to understand. People hate it when you ask them to help you do anything.
Yeah, but you have to. It's part of it. You just have to. There's no other way.
I know. It really sucks. I wish we could figure out a way to make it to where people just magically knew we existed.
I'm sure we could hire a hacker.
Nah. That seems like, pretty black hat stuff, man.
Yeah, but, it'll work.
That doesn't speak to the truth of our souls, man.
I don't know how to come out of that one. Sure, okay.
Batman would beat the hell out of us.
Maybe I'm just a bigger disappointment to you than I would like to think, but I would cheat in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm Batman and you're Red Hood.
Right. When we play act and put pillowcases on our back and go run around and play pretend.
Well, that too. All right. We got to get out of here, guys. Have a good one. Do all the things that you should be doing to help us, and
because it's clearly your responsibility and not ours.
Well, no one operates in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Love us.
All right, shut it down. Shut it
power.
Right down. Shut it right down.
All right, take it easy, guys. Until next week, or actually, couple days. Keep some DC on your screen, as we're going to.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.